Hello, Western Civilization 105 class. Welcome to week 4. And I just wanted to go over a few things that I thought were important. First of all, some of you have noticed that when you're looking at your assignments, that there seems to be some assignments that would fit into a given week in the grade book, and you're confused by that. So, in brief, um, Canvas kind of keeps a graveyard of old assignments. Um, I've been teaching over the years the same class. Sometimes I switch assignments around, or I get a different arrangement of how many weeks to teach, and so I don't know. I change the assignments. I don't really know what I could have done to prevent this, but I have a lot of assignments that I can't seem to make go away that I'm not using anymore. And how I just what I basically learned is if I'm going to erase them, it's kind of confusing, and I feel like I'm at risk of deleting other important assignments. It's not an easy thing to do. So here's the bottom line. Um, just know that all you have to worry about are the assignments that are in each week's module. Okay? So when you're doing your work and you're sending in work, just make sure you're going through each week's module, and you'll see the assignment in the module, and then you're going to have the links to turn in the work, and that's all you're going to need to worry about. So that's just something that's very important. If you are confused about this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, all you need to worry about is, or should I say not worry about, just do what you're doing. Stick to the work that's in each week's module, and then you're fine. So sorry about any confusion in terms of my gradebook for this class. So if you look, there. So, okay, so that was important. One, I want to remind you all that the papers, I'm always going to need dates. I'm always going to need citations within the paper. The citations need to be specific in some way. I need to know a page or a link. I need to know where I can go to see the citation. That's important. The one thing that I'm having an issue that many students need to focus on is the percentage, sometimes in Turnitin. So I haven't been given like a module on this, but basically, I mean like a code of ethics on how much percentage of your paper should be in your own words. But needless to say, it should be the majority of the paper. Now, Turnitin can show me when somebody plagiarizes, but if it has a high percentage, it doesn't necessarily mean, Turnitin doesn't necessarily mean any of the percentages that you're plagiarizing. It's showing me that a certain percentage that is showing up on the internet. And some of my students, some of you will cite properly. You're writing a quality paper, but you're maybe doing 38% quotes. Really, it shouldn't be more than 30, and it's ideally there should be no more than 20% of the paper that would be just direct quotes, because what that means is that's not something that you put together. Those are just direct quotes from the books. I'm looking to see your words, and so that's what any professor is going to be looking for. So you really want to focus on paraphrasing. This is actually the important part of the paper. So please try to make sure that you are paraphrasing more. The lower the Turnitin percentage that shows up, the better. It doesn't have to be at 0. And remember also, the citations are going to come after paraphrases as well. So the citations remain even if the citation's not there, right? Wherever you got the content from, then the citation should follow, whether it's a direct quote or just the information that you've put in your own words, okay? Just a reminder on that. Okay, then lastly, I just want to say something in terms of the content of what we're covering today. Now, you'll hear this from me often as we slide into this terrible election period. When I say terrible, it's because we as Americans are often terrible to each other over it, and it's just a mess. Now, full disclosure, I'm a very grumpy curmudgeon, so I don't like either of the candidates. Actually, I don't like either of the parties in many ways. I'm kind of like for myself, I'm outside the grid, but I do vote, and I would vote in one party as opposed to the other. That's not so much important right now. But what I am saying is that I'm only bringing this up because we are going to cover Haiti in this section, which is interesting in the sense that Haiti has popped up in the news again in ways that in the United States tends to be negative. So in the case of one of the men running to be president, again, there's memes everywhere making jokes about, or some people defending him, talking about Haitian immigrants in one state eating people's pets. And that's also what his vice president has been reiterating. Now, I've researched this the best I can, and it appears that there's no evidence, even from the police or the sheriff's department, that this is the case. Here's what's important. Perhaps I have a bias in terms of being frustrated by this because my daughter is part Haitian. Her grandmother, one of her grandmothers, is from Haiti and has worked here a very long time and raised children in this country. In fact, her ex-husband was in the Navy, also from a different part of the world, Philippines. And, I think that when it's fair to have a discussion about what to do with a situation with borders, the sustainability of refugees or not, or how to handle this very complex topic, which, by the way, when I was traveling the world, I realized everywhere in the world has sort of a complex topic. This comes into politics of a lot of different countries because there's wars everywhere in the world. Not everybody's economy is as good as other ones. And so when you don't have upward mobility in a given country, if you can't move up, you move out. And you're going to take care of your family, rather there is a society that welcomes you with open arms and gives you a passport, or that doesn't like you, doesn't accept you with open arms, but does give you a job and pays you substandard wages for the benefit of their company, okay, so on and so on. Now, but the demonization of any kind of immigrant community is something that I'm always going to be annoyed with. And when it comes to Haiti, Haitians have been up against this in the United States for a long time, and really, every time anything that shows up about Haiti is always a very negative thing, and it's a very unfortunate part of the news. I'm also showing you that Haiti itself also, it is a country that struggles, and there's tensions there, even when on the border of its country with a Dominican Republic, which is the Spanish-speaking part of the island. Now, Haiti has a much more powerful and positive message for its legacy, and that it's the only slave rebellion that's recorded in history that was successful, and that they were up against a Western empire, a Western imperial power, up against France, and they were able to get their independence. But it came at a cost to the island, and the United States was very hostile to this fight for freedom, despite our own July 4th thing, and for obvious reasons that we know. So I just want to mention, of course, I didn't actually set it up this way, but as Haiti comes up in the news again, we're also seeing a history that's being covered here in this module. So take note of that. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that aspect in regards to all that. So I'll leave it at that. If anybody has any questions or problems, again, please contact me. I have been setting up Zoom meetings And not everybody can use those times to meet me, but if a better time works for you, then contact me and I'll try to set up something for you. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and may the temperatures keep dropping. And it'd be nice if we got a gentle fall to get out of this very rough, hot summer. So that's that, and we'll be in touch.